What's up everybody? It's me, Sierra G, and welcome to my channel. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about culture shocks and cultural differences that I noticed in Korea. As we've talked about before, I've been to Korea a couple of times, and I'm actually going to be moving there within the next couple of months. And my nose is itching. So I thought it would be like a fun and beneficial video to talk about, you know, the things that are normal in their society that aren't really necessarily normal in mine. I'm from the US. I'm born and raised in Texas, and I lived about 5 or 6 years in California. And so yeah, just coming from those places and going out there were things that I noticed that were like different, or, you know, just like, you know, yeah, just different from my normal. And if you are thinking about traveling to Korea, or you want to travel to Korea, I think that these will also be some helpful notes to have in the back of your mind. I know there are quite a few videos like this, but I thought that I would make one too. So to make this video a little bit more interesting, I'm also going to be trying on clothes from Maribella Boutique. They sent me some amazing outfits. They have the cutest clothes, and I actually met them a couple of months ago at an event in LA, and I'm really glad I get a chance to collaborate with them and show off their clothes. And so I'm going to put a link to their Instagram in my description box. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and turn on your notifications for my channel. Okay, let's get into it. So I'm gonna try to get into this box with my nails. Yeah, I got my little Halloween nails done. Yeah. Oh, she's cute. She's cute. Peek the shorts. This comes all the way off. Little cardigan. Now that I have my first outfit on, I also want to let y'all know I will have the fully styled version on my Instagram, tagging Maribella Boutique. So yeah, I'll have the link to my Instagram in the description box, along with my TikTok and, you know, all that other good stuff. So stay tuned for that. All right, now let's get into cultural shocks and culture differences in Korea. All right, so to start off easy, one of the first things that I noticed, which they talk about in other videos, and I knew before I got there, is giving and receiving money with two hands, or, you know, being polite and having like one hand kind of like over here when you're like giving and receiving money. If you go to like a 7-Eleven, GS25, any convenience stores, sometimes they have a tray where they'll put the money on it and they'll slide it over to you. So that's kind of an easy way. But yeah, just so you know, to be polite, I usually just give two hands. And yeah, and I also kind of like it. It's something that I do now, even when I'm not in Korea. I think it's just really polite to just give money with two hands instead of just like, here you go, throwing money towards people. So yeah, so that is a cultural difference, number one. So on to my next point. Another thing that is really big in Korea to show respect is whenever you're meeting people and whenever you're leaving, we bow. So it is not something that I'm necessarily used to, and it is not also something that's necessarily even expected of you as a foreigner, but I always like to be polite. You know, you're going over to somebody else's country and their culture. So whenever I meet people for the first time, and this is only for like native Korean people, if I'm meeting just like my friends from America or whatever, I'm not bowing. But like, you know, if I'm meeting somebody new, I always bow. Another difference that we have from Korea to the States is no tipping. I know y'all probably know this if you're interested in Korea and Korean culture. You do not tip at restaurants. You don't tip in general. It's seen as very rude. Don't make the mistake of doing it. In recent years, I have noticed that certain places in Hongdae and Itaewon, they start to cater a little bit more towards Western culture. So they do. I realize that they do have tip jars now in certain places, not all, but some. So if you see that, you know, tip if you want to, but it is not really a normal custom over there to tip. So just remember not to do it, and you should be good. The next on the list is small talk. I've noticed in Korea that everyone is pretty on the go, and everyone is also very to themselves. So there is no like small talk like how in America, you know, someone will like stop you and be like, oh, you're really pretty, or I like your shoes, or where'd you get your outfit, or something like that. That's not really a normal there. And I remember a couple of years ago, I was in Hongdae and I was looking for my Airbnb and I was lost. And so I was like, dang, I'm gonna have to ask somebody. So I went up to someone while I was at the crosswalk and I tried to like slowly approach them and ask them where, you know, that said street was. And even though I walked up to them and like made myself known that I was going over to speak to them, I could like see her slowly leaning back like, why are you trying to speak to me?
Why are you running? Why are you running?
And so I felt a little bit embarrassed, but it was also very necessary because I was lost and had all of my luggage with me. So yeah, small talk is not very common, but I do also notice if you're, you know, out on a weekend and it's nighttime, because I'm a foreigner, some people do approach me because, you know, they want to speak to a foreigner, they've never met one before, whatever the excuse is. So yeah, when it comes to nightlife, I feel like people are a little bit more social, but just during everyday life, small talk is not necessarily a thing. Next cultural difference that I noticed is not holding open doors. I'm from the South, and so if someone sees me coming, they're holding the door open for me. And you know, if I see someone who's coming up behind me, I hold the door open for them. Like I said, it's nothing personal, but it's just like fast-paced and everyone pretty much keeps to themselves. So there was one time I was just like walking and I just thought, shouldn't just assume, but I just thought that, oh, they'll hold the door open for me because they see me coming. And then the door was like, boom, and just slammed in my face. And I was like, okay, yeah, we don't hold doors. So it's something that I had to get a little bit used to. I'm not saying no one holds doors open there, but it's just something that I didn't find common. And speaking on the topic of doors, elevators. They don't really hold elevators for people in Korea either. For the most part, when I'm back in America, I'll hold the elevator door open if I see someone coming, if I don't find them to be of danger to me. So yeah, I'll hold the door open for them and let them come in. But like I said, everything is super busy, especially in Seoul. People have places to be, things are generally crowded. And so also in Korea, the elevators, there's usually buttons on the side and sometimes the back of the elevator. And I remember walking up to it and someone was like pressing the door close button like, no, we're not waiting for you, we're not waiting for you. And I was just like, okay. But it's no big deal. And also too, whenever I'm running late or if I'm you know, if I have somewhere to be, I was running 45 minutes late in Seoul and to an event, and I was kind of glad because we got in the elevator and we all understood the assignment. We were all pressing door close button. We don't have time for anybody else. Let's go. We have somewhere to be. Let's get out of here.
Child. Anyway, so.
Okay, swimwear. I am in love. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Oh. I put my jacket on because it's a little chilly in my apartment. So the next thing that I noticed in Korea that I'm not really used to is running. So like I said, it's really busy in Seoul, and you know, people have their schedules, and like the main way of transportation is usually buses, taxis, or the subways, and if you don't have your own car. And so I used to see people running out of nowhere, and you know how black people are, and it's like if somebody's running and I don't know, like I'm running too. So like I see a group of people running and I'm thinking like something is happening, But then they all just like rushed down to the subway, and I realized, they're just trying to be like on time for the subway. I never ever in my life felt that sense of urgency before. Like I said, I'm from LA and Texas. I don't have a sense of urgency to go anywhere. Even if I'm running late, I don't care. But once I started doing like actual dance workout in Korea, I did find myself running late, and I was like, I cannot afford to miss this next subway. So here I was, like, running full speed by myself, probably looking crazy, so I can make sure I make that damn subway, because I don't have any more time to waste, baby. I got somewhere to be. So I kind of like that. It's kind of normal over there, because, you know, I felt better because I was like, all right, cool. It's not super weird. On the subject of subways, I think it's very important to know that you should not be super loud on the subway. It is super quiet in there. Nobody's talking. Everybody usually has their headphones on. On the rare occasion that I see somebody on their phone, they're like really, really quiet, and you can like see them like holding their, just trying to be as quiet as possible. The only people that I ever see loud on the subways are like kids, high school kids. And then like ajishis are like super loud on the subways sometimes, especially like if there's drinking involved. They are like the only two types of people who are usually like the loudest on the subways. Everybody else is quiet. Whenever you try to be loud, or if you're talking a little bit too loud, people are looking at you like shut up. So so yeah, it is a good tip to know that subways are really quiet, so just like, you know, be quiet. And I also kind of don't mind it because I usually have my headphones in anyway, so there's no need for me to be like talking. But whenever I'm with my friend, we usually are pretty quiet and just like either kind of like whisper, talk softly, and try not to disturb anyone. Let me fix my boobies. They're all out. On the topic of boobies, cleavage and shoulders showing and stuff is something that's kind of looked down upon or frowned upon in Korea. A lot of women pretty much stay covered up. I mean, I'm not saying what you can and can't wear. You do whatever you want to. I see people, you know, wearing like spaghetti strap and like cleavage sometimes. But for me, I've done it a few times because I was like, you know what, it, I don't care. I'm gonna wear whatever I want to. And I felt like people were just like looking at me more than usual, given the fact that I get looked at a lot already because I'm a foreigner. But when I had that out, I felt like I was just getting extra attention. I felt like I was getting extra male attention. And also I felt like the harmonies like on the subway were looking at me like, you I'm sorry. But yeah, I don't know, the looks were a little bit too much for me. So I decided to cover up a little bit more, and it also honestly sucks because it gets very hot in Korea in the summertime and I sweat a lot, so sometimes I just really can't do it, and I just have to be like, you know what, I'll have to get the stairs because I'm trying to not burn up. But yeah, you know, I always feel like, you know, women should wear whatever they want to wear. So if you feel comfortable doing it and, you know, you don't mind the stairs, go for it. Do what you want to do. Be an empowered woman. You got this. I'm on your side. I'm rooting for you. Another culture shock that I've noticed in Korea, this isn't as common anymore, but also like in the subway restrooms, I've noticed it. The toilets in the ground. I am not used to it. I remember there was this one time I had to go to the restroom so bad, and everyone was going into the stalls, and there was one stall that people were kind of avoiding, and I was like, what's wrong with that one? Like, it's not out of order. So I went in there and I like busted in, and there was a toilet on the ground. Like, it was everything that the toilet has, but like in the ground. So I had to like squat and do my business, and I was telling you, I was praying to God. I was like, Lord, don't let me pee on the floor. Like, please just like get me out of here alive. Like I said, I haven't really come across those often, but I do know that they are still there. And you know, I don't mind because I had to go, so I was definitely using it, but it's definitely a squat. And you know, you got to get yourself together, and I don't know, if it's not for you, you just like wait in line for the next stall. On the subject of restrooms, another thing that I noticed, which is actually really cool, is that the bathroom stalls go all the way down to the floor, like the doors do. In America, you know, there's always that like space that someone could like crawl underneath, or like where the door closes, you could probably look and peek at somebody and see them doing their business. You can't see anything underneath and you can't see anything in between. And yeah, so I like that because I like my privacy. I'm like doing my business in the restroom. So yeah, that's a good thing. I love it. Okay. This is probably my fave. I love it. Skirt action going on. I'm totally here for it. Peep it. And I like that this band to the skirt's like stretchy. And yeah, this is a 2-piece, so you can wear it with like shorts or jeans or in the set like this. So I love the versatility. Okay, peoples, this is my final outfit, and honestly, my favorite. So my last little shout out to Maribella Boutique. Thank you so much for the clothes. I will have, again, their Instagram in the description box below, so make sure you check them out. They have amazing clothes. I absolutely love it, and I really hope I can work with them again. Also, for my last two culture shocks, culture differences, I mean, I guess it's kind of turning into things that I notice that are different in Korea from, like, you know, America, is that I see a lot of kids walking around by themselves. And I say this just because last time I was kind of in, when I stayed in Gimpo, it was kind of a residential area. And so I know kids were going to school, and I just noticed a lot of like really little kids walking around by themselves. And in America, you know, you would never see that. You don't see kids just like in this, like in the city or whatever, just walking around with like no adult supervision, because we would be so scared that our kids would get like snatched up. So yeah, I thought that was like really nice. If you didn't know, like Korea is a generally safe country. And so I think it's really nice that kids can walk to and from school or to and from the convenience store and not have to worry about something happening to them or them getting abducted. So I thought that was like a pretty cool thing. The last thing I'm going to get to is something that I've talked about on my TikTok. I made it as like jokingly, but also I realized that I'm probably going to have to elaborate on it. Also, full disclosure that, like, you know, even though things that happen over there versus America are different, I still respect it, I still accept it, I still completely understand, but I also do not have to like it. Which brings me to my least favorite cultural difference or shock about me being in Seoul is shoulder checking. I do not like when people run into me. I don't even like when people walk too close to me. But I already had to get over that because Seoul is a very highly populated place. And so, like I said, people are running the subways, people are trying to, like, you know, go here and there, people are rushing, people are trying to get through. So shoulder checking is when someone just like runs into your shoulder, and it happens so much, they're just like breaking my clavicle over here. It'll happen multiple times walking down one street. It's busy, and you know, sometimes people just walk by and they like knock you in the shoulder and they just like keep it pushing. I already know it's nothing personal, it's something normal. I totally get it, but I also don't get it, because you don't have to run into somebody to get past somebody. Or you could just say excuse me, or you can walk around, I don't know. But it is something that the first time it happened to me like 6 times within the past like 5 minutes, and I was just like, okay. I ended up going into a store because I was like, I need people to get away from me right now, because I don't need somebody running into me anymore. But yeah, I found that was something like really common. Sometimes people apologize, because one time this one dude ran into me like really hard and kind of just like knocked me out of the way, and he turned around and he's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I also noticed sometimes I get shoulder checked when someone's just like on their phone looking down, not really paying attention, and like, you know, they run into me and then they're like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, and I'm just like, oh yeah, it's okay, and you know, it's no big deal. But yeah, that is something that's very common, and it's something that I noticed. And like I said, if it happens to you, actually not if, but when it happens to you, because it will happen, Don't take it personal. Don't be out there making a scene, arguing with like people in their native country. It is not necessary. If that is going to be your make or break of whether you're going to get arrested or not over there, maybe Korea is just not for you. And my last little honorable mention is that no one touches your stuff if you leave it unattended. I think that is so cool. And because like I will see people like get up and they'll leave like their laptop, their bag, like their purse, everything, and just like go to the restroom and come back and nobody's touching it. I'll be damned in America, especially living in Los Angeles. I will not be at Starbucks and leave my purse sitting on the table and come back and expect it to just be there. I mean, given my American trauma, I'll never go anywhere without bringing my stuff with me. But I also did think that it was cool that, like, you know, people can leave stuff and no one's gonna touch it, no one's gonna try to steal it. One of my friends, we were at the club and she left her Louis V bag at the bar, and we didn't realize until we went to the next club and we're like, oh my god, the bag. So we went to go get it back, and it was actually still sitting in the exact same spot. Nobody touched it, no one like turned it in, no one did anything with it. They just left it there. And I was like, wow, in LA that would have been gone. You would have never saw your purse again. It would have been the end of it. So I hope this video was a little bit educational, a little bit fun, and I hope y'all got to see some like cute outfits. Like I said, check out my Instagram. I'll be having the full style outfits on there. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, TikTok. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on this channel. Turn on your notifications. And I will see you next week with another story time. Bye, guys.